from a different star, flying over streets and the broken hearts. But they can't even touch us, we found a different beat. Paradise is waiting and we bought the leaves. Ooh, getting caught in the mist, there's so many that never get out of. They're feeding the fears and the doubts.
Hello, long time no speak from Miss Mega and I, who's clearly spotted something on the horizon. Today we are doing our first competition of 2026 and we are half platted. We are going to Bury Farm, which is our local venue, for the Riding Club Winter Dressage qualifiers. So these should have been late last year, but because of weather or low entries, they've all been postponed and they've now amalgamated them all into one show. So there's straight classes today, and that goes anything from like intro up to advanced medium. And then there are the dressage to music classes as well. So we are doing elementary 1. I cut my finger plaiting. I'm not sure how. I'm not threading. It was just bands. So yeah, I really don't know how. And then we are doing our elementary music as well. So very exciting. It's actually about 12 o'clock. We're not on until the afternoon. So we've had a little leisurely start. Meg has been out in the field this morning. So yeah, I'm just going to finish plaiting and then we will load up and get on the road. Safe to say, the car park has seen better days. Yuck. That's not it either. Oh no.
Yeah. And then, yeah, so that's the same radio.
And then it was on to our straight test. So elementary 1, we enter in collected trot, and then at X, halt and salute, and then at C, track left. We scored a 6.5 with a comment of stepped out with her left hind, which you'll see she did, so completely fair. Then we changed the rein in medium trot, HXF. We scored a 6.5 with a comment of could open frame more, which I agree. You can just see there's a bit of tension there with the tail swishing. Then we go past A, and at the 3/4 line we leg yield left between E and H. We scored a 7, and the judges just underlined the comment of fluency. Then at H we do a circle right of 10 meters. We scored a 7 with a comment of keep supple over the back, which again completely fair. You can see there was a bit of tension there and a bit of tail swishing. We then repeat the change of rein in medium trot across the diagonal. We scored a 6.5, and the judges just underlined engagement, so she obviously didn't think that one was as good as the previous. Then we repeat again past A, up the 3/4 line, and leg yield right between B and M. We scored a 6.5 with a comment of keep fluent and forward. So I think we were just losing that in our leg yields a little bit in this test, which was a shame. We then do that 10-meter circle at M. We scored a 7. And then at C, transition to medium walk, which we scored a 7 again. No comments for either of those. We then changed the rein in free walk on a long rein, H to B. We scored a 7. The judges underlined stretching forwards and down and suppleness of whole body, which I agree, like she is softened through the contact and through her neck, but it would be good if she could just take her head down a little bit more. That mark is double marked, so that was not too shabby. And then we changed the rein in medium walk, B to K. We scored a 6.5 with a comment of a little tension, which I managed to contain across the diagonal there. But here it sort of unravels. She knows exactly what is coming, which is the transition to collected canter. We did actually score a 7 for the actual transition itself, which I did think was really nice. It was just a shame she predicted that coming. Then at B, we circle left 15 meters. We scored a 7. And then continue in collected canter all the way around to the other side of the arena. And then do our simple change between B and E, do the sort of half circle onto the centre line, do our simple change. We scored a 6 for this one, and then the half circle back, and that was just because we lost the straightness and the balance, which was not our best simple change by any means. Then at B we do our circle right 20 meters in medium canter. We scored a 7. I thought she did that nicely. Actually, the medium canters on a circle really suit her because it stops her from buggering off with me, as you'll have seen in the freestyle test. We then do that little end piece in collected canter, and then at E do another 15-meter circle. We scored a 7 for this, which she looks really sweet and happy. We then do collected canter around this end of the arena, and she scored a 6.5. Then we do our simple change again, so the half circle onto the centre line, simple change, and then half circle back to the track. We scored a 6.5. Again, you can just see we're slightly losing the straightness and the balance. Then we repeat the same on the other rein. At E, doing our circle of 20 metres of medium canter, we scored a 7 with a comment of keep suppleness over the back. Then at A, we transition back to working trot. We scored a 7 for that. Then at F, we start to allow the horse to stretch, and at B, half circle left 20 meters to E, and then retake the reins. So in all of that, we scored a 7 with a comment of could show more, which I agree with. Again, she could have just taken her nose down a little further. We then turn up the centre line, and at X we halt. This she did really, really nicely, and we were rewarded with an 8. What a superstar! First and second. More snacks, please. Look at these loaded potato skins for me. And then for afters, Mother's got carrot cake. And I got, and for the husband.
Oh,
and for Dad. Oh, and you're having that and the carrot cake?
Well, I got both.
Is a chocolate cream egg. Delish. So it was all a bit go, go, go. I had, I think, about 40 minutes originally between my 2 tests, so I didn't bother getting off and just carried on walking her around and then sort of re-picked her back up again. But actually there'd been an accident earlier in the day at the show where someone had fallen off and the ambulance had to come and take them away. So that ring, which I didn't realise, was then running behind another 35 minutes on top. So I was walking around for quite some time in between, but actually that was probably a nice thing because we were able to like fully decompress before picking back up again. Anyway, our elementary freestyle was the first test, and she did a really, really nice test. The only things to comment on would be her medium canters. She was very enthusiastic, very strong. Literally after that I found it quite difficult to get her back in her box. So like our walk afterwards suffered a little bit because she was so like keen and I was just literally doing damage control. But we did get lots and lots of 7s. We got an 8 for our final halt. And the judge commented, we got there because there was a bit of disaster with the music at the beginning. So I went in, the person before me hadn't turned up or they withdrew. So they started playing their music instead of mine. So I had to turn around and be like, no, that's not mine. Went back and they found my music, pressed play, but my USB had my novice elementary music on there as well. So they started playing my novice music to begin with. I was like, no, that's not right either. So then they had to find my elementary music and they then played that and we were away. So the judge was a bit sympathetic, I think, for me because we had a bit of an issue with the music, and by the time we'd faffed about with that, it probably had wasted like a good 5 or 10 minutes, and Meg was so good, she just cracked back on once we got on with it. So she put, yeah, we got there. I think you have a super partnership. The music was super, just could have a little more suppleness at times, which, yeah, because of the tension and the gung-ho-ness in the medium canter, I fully appreciate. And we ended up on a score of 70.38%, which is amazing. And we ended up coming first. So we've qualified for the Riding Club Championship for the elementary freestyle to music, which is very exciting. I was so pleased with that. So then we had our elementary 1 test, and again she warmed up really, really nicely. As I've always said before, my straight tests probably not so much my forte because it's all about accuracy, isn't it? But we did get lots and lots of 7s, and we did also get an 8 for our final centerline and halt. So apparently that was our forte today, and the judge commented, showing lovely established work, could improve relaxation and throughness in parts, but lots to like. Because we did the free walk, which she actually did quite nicely. Then in the medium walk I picked her back up and probably just rode a little bit tentatively, and then she knew that the walk to canter was coming, so she like got a bit like off the contact just before the transition. So we lost a little bit of a mark for that, so I think we got 6.5 for our medium walk. But then we did our walk to canter, and because I like made sure she got back connected with me, we then did a really good transition, so we did get a 7 for that transition, which I was chuffed with because sometimes the walk to canter can just be a big ball of tension. So I was really pleased with that. I was pleased with our leg yields today. I thought they were much more fluent than they normally are. sometimes we can get a bit stuck, and she was more like responsive to my leg. So yeah, I was really pleased with those. So we ended up on a score of 68.45% for our elementary 1 straight test, which is amazing. So pleased with that. I'd take anything at that sort of level of score for a straight test at an elementary. And we finished second in that class. So all in all, what a great way to start off the year, our first show, and a first and a second. So yeah, absolutely buzzing. Mega has now gone in the stable for a good night's rest. And I'm now going to go home and enjoy my snacks. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed today's vlog, and I'll see you very soon.